You are listening to the School of Whispers podcast. I'm your host, Stephanie, and this is my space to get real, open, and weird about my life experiences as a psychic, medium, energy healer, and student of Chinese medicine. On the show, I'll be sharing my healing journey and the concepts I've learned along the way, and I'll be having guests on talking about the same sort of thing. I am so happy you're here, and I hope this show leaves you feeling inspired and empowered to learn how to listen to the whispers of your own body and spirit. Let's get into the show. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the show. So this will likely be the officially shortest episode of all the shows. I am a talker, which you will soon learn, and I have a lot to share. I have a lot of information to share. I remember during my yoga teacher training, the head teacher said to me, the guy who was in charge, he said to me that I'm kind of like an iceberg. Everything I have to share is kind of on the surface. The time I have is about 25% of what I really know. And this is my space to share the rest of, guys, you're going to learn very soon, right here, right now, that math is just not my strong suit. I have a lot of strengths, I really do, but math is just not one of them. But the other end of the 25% that I'm going to share about what I know and who is me is going to be right here, right now on this show. So a little bit about me. As you know, I am a psychic, a medium, a energy healer, student of Chinese medicine. A little bit of my extra credentials / qualifiers is I had my undergrad in psychology, and shortly after graduating, I kind of realized I don't want to do this. I can't imagine doing this for the rest of my life. So I started teaching exercise classes, particularly barre, which is a combination of Pilates, ballet, and yoga. And truly, that was my space of really learning that I have something to share. I know how to hold space for myself and for others, and I really shine when I am in front of people here to teach something. And while I'm not necessarily in front of everybody right now, I really do call you all in. And so I had this background in exercise, and then shortly after that, I started learning how to do stretch therapy, and there was really something in that. When I have my hands on people, it's like I realized that I was able to tune into something that was a little bit deeper than their physical body. A lot of people who get on the table before I work with them, or while I'm working with them, rather, they'll say, I just don't know why I'm sharing this with you right now. And, I kind of just shake my head and giggle and say, I don't know either, but I'm here for it. But now I know why. It's because I just have this ability to really lean in to accepting and really loving everyone for who they are. And that really truly is part of my life path. I remember listening to a podcast once of a shaman, and she said the way of the shaman is to love all regardless of their path, regardless of their past. And when I heard that, something really rang true to me. I really feel this prerogative to love and understand and feel compassion for every being, regardless of their background. And that applies to my professional path later on. So I'm teaching exercise classes. Eventually I get certified in yoga, which really was like the beginning of my sort of awakening of realizing that there's something deeper in this connection with myself. There's something more than what I've always thought there was. And then in 2020, after doing a whole lot of work for myself, which I really dive into when in my podcast about just kind of like who I am. I really can't think of what the name of the podcast is. Actually, let's see if I can see it. My Healing Journey. School of Whispers podcast, My Healing Journey. That's probably not going to be published yet because this is going to be the first thing I'm going to put out there so that you can really hear my voice, understand who I am and everything I'm about. But right, so I have all these little backgrounds and little things. I also have my personal training certification, blah, blah, blah. And really in 2019, 2020, I have this sort of awakening of realizing that the world is more than everything that I see. There is truly a substance that, while I cannot see it, I can absolutely feel it. And the more I leaned into feeling it, the more my life changed. And in 2021, I had this, again, I'll dive deeper into this later, but I had this super traumatizing awakening sort of memory come back to me. And with that memory came the rushing in of all these other psychic gifts, which I really just held at bay over the course of my life because it often just all felt too much too soon. But after really stepping into learning who I am, who I truly am, what I stand for, and also establishing boundaries, I was finally just able to step into this world of spirituality with this sort of baseline understanding of, again, myself and the world around me. And really truly understanding why I am here on this earth. And when it comes to soul purposes, things get a little fuzzy because I really truly believe. So again, I mentioned I'm a psychic, so I do a lot of readings for others. And something I really love to look into is a soul's purpose. And I truly believe that a soul's purpose is not what we are here doing that comes the easiest to us. What comes easy to us is a gift. What comes easy to us is a gift that we have developed over lifetimes. The purpose of what we are here to do is never going to be easy. It's never easy, okay? So maybe just try to establish that fact in your brain right here, right now, before you really dive into the rest of my podcast, because nothing of what I am ready to do is truly easy. And I mean, and this in itself, this is a super vulnerable place for me to be, to share the weirdness that has become my life, because truly it's required a whole lot of surrender and acceptance of myself. I mean, if you've known me before, if you're tuning into this podcast, you're like, what is Stephanie up to these days? Like, what is this shit she's talking about? You may very well hear this and just be like, yeah, she's lost it. And maybe I have, but you know, what I know is that since the moment I have opened myself up to this world of the unknown and the whispers that my own higher self, great spirit, God, goddess, source, whatever you want to call it, has to bring me, is the moment that I started to feel, number one, healthier. I was so sickly my whole life, and all of a sudden I feel this vitality in me, this strength in me, but healthier. So, and then more connected, more of just this knowing. I spent so much of my life not wanting to answer any questions for myself. I always wanted to look outside of myself for an answer. And with that came this mentality that I was a bit of a victim, that life happened to me. And the moment that I was able to realize that truly the answers that I need are all within me, and the true wisdom and knowing, I don't have to look outside of myself. All I have to do is learn how to listen to myself. is the moment I was no longer a victim, the moment that I was a sole creator in my life. So if you're hearing this and you're thinking, I want to be absolutely in charge, I want to be a creator of my life, then this is a podcast for you. I am a very strong believer in radical responsibility. So I used to think if I took charge of everything, and then maybe like I would just be like to blame and to be kind of guilty of everything. But as I leaned into that, because I would feel that way and I would think those thoughts and I would be afraid, but the call was way too strong for me to avoid it. The call to accept responsibility for my life was way too strong to avoid. And the moment I did, the moment I realized that I found true freedom. And that is absolutely something I stand for and something that I really try to bring into all of my healings and all of the readings that I do. Bit of a tangent. I hope I've, created a full circle with all the things I've brought up here. But another thing to mention that I do is I've really stepped into, after doing the psychic and the mediumship, I've really stepped into energy healing. So I'm a student of Chinese medicine. Right now I'm getting my master's, it's a 3-year degree. It is no joke. It is a whole art, medicine, culture that I am completely absorbed in learning of Chinese medicine. So it's acupuncture, herbs, massage, and so much in food therapy and so much more. And with that, I have learned the art of Qigong, which I really wish I was better at explaining what Qigong is. But basically, it's this martial art that's all about the state of flow. It's not about fighting others. It is about harnessing your life force energy. In Chinese medicine, we call it qi. Harnessing your qi to help enhance your energetic field, enhance your life force energy, and enhance your physical health, and also to tune in to the finer, subtle energies of existence. And with that, before that, I was really able to tune in with all my stretch clients with how to tune into their energy fields and to scan their energy and to notice where there's 1, physical pain, and then 2, emotional pain. And with that came the ability to sense something called entities, which if you continue to tune into this podcast, you will learn more about. I'm not going to dive into it now because we're already at 13 and a half minutes and I want to keep this within 15 minutes. But basically, I'm able to read where you hold blockage that may manifest as emotional pain, cycles of self-sabotage, as well as physical pain. And I'm able now to remove them. And it's really, truly been a journey of 26 years. And I will be sharing that on this show. I will also be interviewing people, just really, I'm really drawn to people who are fully embodied in what it means to be a tuned in human being to their purpose, whether they're spiritual or not. It doesn't truly matter to me because spirituality is kind of a human concept. But that's what this show is going to be all about. The healing journey, the concepts I've learned along the way, as well as those concepts and beliefs and crafts and passions of my guests. We will dive into all things spiritual. I will do my utmost best to never hold back anything about my life experience because it's been weird and it's really pushed me to question myself and to question everything I've thought I've known about this world. And it truly is a huge part of this journey is to learn how to accept fully who I am. Great spirit, source, God, goddess, whoever whatever it is that is this all-knowing, all-loving entity, being, energy that feels like home. It feels like where we are come from and where we return to, has called me to share this. And a lot of the people I look up to most, they're the ones who live life by this call. And so that's how I choose to live. If this all resonates with you, then this podcast is for you. And when it comes to all things spiritual, I will say this again and again. If it resonates, then it's for you. If it doesn't, you can choose to pick up what does work for you and choose to leave what doesn't. I will never take offense by you not fully agreeing with me. If anything, I always welcome all thoughts and concerns and opinions, because I am here to learn. I am here to consider all sides of the spectrum. So you are here on this journey with me, and I appreciate you being here and listening to this so far. We have made it to 16 minutes and 45 seconds, so I think we're already going to be good friends. I hope you're ready to learn and to open your mind and tune in to the whispers of my life, as well as tune into whispers of your own body and spirit. That's what this is all about. It's just learning how to listen before the screams set in. We're all destined to learn how to listen to the subtle whispers before our body, mind, and spirit truly suffer. That's really just the whole point of all of this. I look forward to building this relationship, building this community, and I will see you on next week's, or I will feel you. I don't think I will see you, but you'll hear me, and I will feel you on next week's episode.